Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Lung Pamai, and in this short video, I'll be showing you how to create a professional dashboard using VBA in Excel UserForm. Before we begin, if you haven't, please do not forget to subscribe for latest updates and also to support the channel. As a part of UI and UX series, you've learned how to create various customizations, custom forms, input field with icons and watermarks. We've learned how to also add effects to the controls. We've learned how to create custom auto search suggestions. We've learned how to create a custom menu bar, which can easily be replicated with a copy paste. We've also built a real life expense app with date picker, which is built in, and also a custom date picker. As you can see on the right hand side, a custom table, and also a feature where you can drag and drop the files. We did a detailed walkthrough on this, and also we touched base on the list view, various customization, adding icons, controlling properties, and also the hide and then grouping the labels and so on. We also did touch base on various progress bars and the custom one and the inbuilt one, and then the tree view as well, where we learn various methods and properties associated with it, how to control the tree view, parent, child elements, and so on. And then we also did touch base on the list box, this reordering items between the list box and within a single list box as well. And then these are various forms that we touched base on 18th, and then this is the ink control that we went through in detail, populating the data here, handwriting recognition, writing to the cells, and then we also learn how to capture the ink, store those data, read back those data, and so on. That was a quick recap on the UI and UX we've learned so far. We'll only focus on building our dashboard in this video. Before we jump in, I want to point out a few best practices. First, understand the need of the user and decide on the end goal. Prepare your source or a backend, be it an Excel or a database, to ensure that your dashboard is responsive, and so you do not have to come back later and redo your dashboard. Second, go minimalistic. And do not cram too much of information on a single page. So yes, choose your KPI, which is key performance indicator, carefully. I prefer using simple charts, which are easy to understand and follow. And third will be follow clear and consistent naming conventions and consistent formats, be it dates or truncating large values. Okay, starting up the dashboard. So it started up really quick. This is the dashboard I already put together, but I'll be walking you through each and every component here. On the left hand side here, as you can see, is a menu bar, which is an exact replication of what we have already done in our previous video. So I'm not going to walk you through this part. And then the table down here is also from the prior video, showing the latest sales history, kind of table in case you need it. So this page will have all the important components that you will need within your dashboard. First, top here will be the main KPIs that you want to show to the user. And then, yes, the greetings, the name of your app can go here. In case you want to perform some sort of a search here, like within your dashboard, you can have that as well here. And then, for example, if you want a further customization of your dashboard, the user can click here, a new form opens up, and then they can do further customization. And then, yes, keep the color consistent. Second part, so this, once you create one of these, then the rest are just a replication of it. And then here as well, if you create one chart, then the rest are simply, like refreshing those. So here is the pie chart, trending of sales, and then the heat map example, a table, like it could be latest, like transaction, or it could be the users who have signed up pending items to be reviewed, or, and so on. And then like the subcategory or sub KPIs can go in here, and then example of admin and the user sign in as well as here. So I will be walking you through each and every part of this. Okay, so let's get started. Once, let's say that this is like a dashboard that you want to design. So, if you Google UI and UX dashboard designs, you'll get lots and lots of it. You can pick up an inspiration from any of those, and then you can try and build those in your Excel or Access database forms, or like any other as well. Okay, so I'm gonna close this. Behind this, I have set up basic data staging, and this is for the table. It loads the data from here. Every time you calculate, I'll press F9. It just it refreshes data. Yeah. So in this example, I'm not gonna talk about the backend. We are only talking about the front part of the dashboard. And then again, here are some random data which are populating this chart, and then this pie chart and the heat map as well. So the data are set up here. It's just a simple setup. So I'm gonna have this file data set available in case you want to play around with the same data. It's not much, so you can try it out yourself. Okay. Now let's say that this is the dashboard, similar dashboard you want to replicate that you found somewhere, or like you can draw up in a paper, and then you can, once you have that decided, then you can what I normally do, as far as getting the colors and all are concerned, I bring it up, I get it in this fashion. Okay, so first within this, I'm gonna insert a new user form like this as an example. And then so first here we need one label, two label, which are going to be dynamic, and then this is also to plug in the number, yeah, to represent the number. So one label, 2, 3, 4, and this will be a picture. So let's start off with really quickly with where's my PowerPoint? Here. So we'll need basically first I want to get the color. So in order to get the color, go to fill, eyedropper, and you just click on it, and then it'll give you a color. So from that you can there are codes which I'll share later episodes how to automatically print the color. So this is 136, so 136, and then 146 and 214, for example. So for example, I'll just put in here like this, and then the font color is white, and then the image will be taken care of later. So for example, going back to our user form, we'll need a label which looks like this, and then you can get rid of that part. Okay, this will be like this box for this box. Okay, so that's one label, and then you can have a KPI 1, and then maybe background, something like that. Okay, and then when the user form loads, in the initialize you can say me dot KPI background dot background color, back color is equal to RGB, and then you can put in this parameter. So once the form loads, it will bring up that exact color for you. Yeah, and so similarly you will do like these two of them. So coming back here, I'll get a label. So let's say that this is total profit. So once you design one of them, you can replicate the rest, total profit. And then for this, you can change the font here, maybe bold 8, and the for color could be a little bit white, but not fully white, something like that. And the background color should be transparent, something like that. Yeah. And then Next label could be, we'll just plug in the same amount, 54, something like this. And then this one will be maybe around 24. Okay, that's a bit big. So something like this, and this for color for this can be fully white so that it has a focus. Yeah. And then for the bottom part as well, you can so this one also can be the font size can be 8 as well. That is fine. I think this font color can be, I mean, the size can be reduced a bit. Seems to be okay. And then for this, you can just put in, for example, 10% from the previous period. So 10% from previous period, something like that. Yeah. And once you have this, you can also name this as KPI. KPI1. So if it is 1, and then you rename all the sub items as 1 as well. So let's call this KPI1 change, something like that. So once you're done with this, you're happy with this, then you can club them, or you can group them together like this. Okay. And what I normally do is I create another tab. Let's call this dashboard items, and then you can drag and drop it here like this. Okay. And then later on in any of the forms, you can simply drag and drop in this fashion. And then you have 4 blocks which are ready. The only thing is that now you will need to get the color of those as well. So I'll not do that part so that we can save some time. Okay. So once you have this part ready, you can replicate the color in the same fashion. You can get those color, and then you can load them up in the, so this is the name of the control, the method, and then this is the color you're assigning. So, and we are assigning that on UserForm initialize. Yeah, like this. Now the second part, is a chart. So we'll know that we are in the KPI. I'll cover this part as well. Here for the picture, coming back, here we'll need to have a picture. So for that, you can insert an image, which is something like this here. Let's keep it like this as a placeholder. Now go back here. As you know that we cannot, there is no control where you can insert a circle one. So what you can do is you already have the color of this, like this block KPI. What I did with this was go to insert icons. There are sites resources that I already mentioned in our prior videos. There are so many icons which you can customize in this fashion. So for example, I took something like this and insert. Now the good thing about this is that you can change the color of this as well. That's one. Let's do like this. Here we will need something which is round in color. So you can insert something like this. Hold on the shift key and then drag it bigger like this. Okay, whatever the size you need, you drag it in that fashion. And then in the same way, you can get this color like this and remove the outline. No borders needed for that. And let's resize this let's bring this to front. Bring to front will be the, like uh, the the foremost. Okay, so once you're done with something like this, you can also change this graphics outline as well as the fill, so you can change in this fashion. Okay, so once you're done with this, depending on what will be the size in this form, you can uh, check that size, and then you can take another, you can convert this into an image like this. Okay, I'll save this in UI and let's call this KPI one icon or something like that. So it's easier to identify. And then from here, first let's remove the back style to transparent, no border. And then from the picture, you already know you can dynamically assign this picture. So going to UI dashboard, select this and click open. And here is your icon, which we just created. Okay, so that's how I created that. Cool. All right, so once you have this, you replicate the same for the rest of them in that same fashion. Now coming to the sub part, which is pretty much the same thing that I did. So for that as well, I did this. This is white in color, so it's fine. But anyways, for consistency, I'll do it this fashion. And then for this, let me just replicate this, Control D to duplicate. And then I will do the same thing here, like this. Here you'll see that the sidebar and the color of this background is different, so you can get color of this in this fashion. And then you can bring this back to front. We'll change the graphics to something like this. So that's how I did it. And then this outline is in a bit thicker, and dash will be this, something like that. Okay, something like that. So once you're done with this, you can do a similar block there. You can import this, quickly create something like this, copy paste. The only thing here, which is we will not need the change caption. We will need, let me first ungroup this. This will be here, and this should be aligned towards the right side, so that if there are more numbers, the numbers are still aligned towards the left side. I mean to the right side, yeah. And then this image will be here. This font as well should be aligned to the right side. And we can call this, for example, leads. And this will be the image, which will be sitting here. And this color should be 200 to 55, which is white. Now we just need to import this picture like we did for the other one. Now I'll just call this up KPI 1 icon. Here I'll browse for that sub KPI. I'll resize the borders of the image, and then I'll get this sub KPI 1. Let's keep it consistent, underscore background. And this is going to be 255. And the forecolor of this, you can put it darker blue or like something like this. Okay, and then the header as well. The ones which are static, you don't have to put a name. It should be fine. So the forecolor for this can also be more darker. Okay, so you have this as the, like the main KPI top section, and this will be um, the subsection, like the bottom part of this. Now for the bottom section where there is an image and this admin and the user, which is, like in the vertical, you can simply do this. Let's say you have an image. This is a sample image. You get lots of these free image from pixelbay.com. Okay, so let's say that you want to insert this image. If you're not familiar with this, you can make a square, and you can have the user also upload, like in square, something like this. And then you can use this to simply make it to circle. Okay, and then this is not exactly circle, so something like this. Okay, let's leave that for now. So and then what you can do is um you can make it really small like this, something like this. Okay, and then you will not need to have like the background for that part. So once you're done with that, you can change the outline to none. Okay, and use the shift to make it bigger or smaller like this. And then once you're done in this similar fashion, simply crop it to insert an image, something like this. And let's call this admin icon. Okay, and then for this part, we will simply insert shape and then type in here admin. That's how I did it. And dark, and then move it like this, in this fashion. Okay, and once you have the right size like this, you can remove the outline like this, and you can all this admin caption or something like that. And then once you are done with that, simply copy paste the image. No need to resize now after you import. Let's say this is the admin caption, and then second part will be the admin icon, or the photo. Double click in the corner to resize, and that part is fine. And once you have that, you can replicate this block in a similar fashion, and then you can send this to backward, something like that. So that's how I arrive at it. If there is a better way to do this, please comment below. I'll share with others as well. So you put a caption of the name and then the email ID, and then change the background color to that admin background, something like that. And let me quickly do this. Okay, so it comes up something like this. The last part of this, where we have done this, it will be the chart here, and then the search box. So for the search as well, simply replicate how we did it for the image. You put this color in the exact way and take the picture like this and put it in. So if I go to the design mode, here you can see this is just a label. I mean, that's the text box, and behind is the image. And then here in the front, you'll be able to see that there is actually a search. So this is a label, and then behind is a text box, and behind is an image, which is set up to show the back color with this. Okay, so you can search for that icon as well from here. There are many, uh, you know, search. This one I used, and then created a similar block like this and put an icon there. Okay, something like this, and took a picture of that. And so once you click on it, you can just hide that search label, and then once the text box exits, then we can bring that back. Yeah. um, and now for the chart, what I did here is first I create, like I mentioned in the beginning, I created this staging simply for the data to populate in a table. This part not going to cover today because we already did it in the past, as well as for this menu. I'm not going to cover this part again. Please refer to the prior videos if you have not seen those. And now for the chart, again, these are images. There is no chart control that you can show here. The other option would be to put in the HTML component and load it through HTML by exporting it there. The way I did it here is simply converting on runtime to an image. Okay, and then you import that image to in a similar fashion like we did earlier episodes. We bring that back to the form. So first, this is just a label, F4 label, and this is the background of, like again a label. And then these are all consistent. As you can see, this is a white color here, and this is also white and all this. And then the background color of the form is this. Okay, I'm gonna walk you through the code in just a moment. So here is my chart, which I want to use all the time. Your code can populate this data set, for example, or the data set that you need, including the percentage change from the prior period or year on year, month on month, and so on. And then once that data is first populated, you can calculate your sheet so that the charts are, like refreshed. And once that is done, you can convert this to an image. You can export it and then import it back to your user form, which is pretty quick. So let me give a quick demo. So once I hit this button, basically, irrespective of what I enter here, it basically recalculates the sheet and re-imports these three of them. Okay, so for example, once I click, you'll see that the ratio would have changed, like the numbers. Yeah, so it's going up now, further down, and then parallel. And the heat map also have changed. So it's pretty quick. You can use this method. The code behind this is, so I put a image placeholder here, as you can see, here, and here. Yeah. Now, as the form loads up, now this form code to load in full screen is already part of the first episode we covered, which can be downloaded. Also, the menu is also part of free download, which is episode 18, where you have the sub menus which you can easily replicate. And then also the full screen, like I mentioned, you can simply copy and paste. This part is simply to load the form in full screen, as well as to get the size of the application, and it startup position is changed. This part, all of them are basically changing the colors, the menu, side color, background color, search is set to false. The text box is false. Only when it is clicked, it shows up the text box. So for example, now the text box is false. When I click here, the text box is visible now, and then I can type it in. Okay. And then all these are color, as you can see, all these are RGB colors. And then these are table controls. Again, for the table and the menu, I'm not going to cover, but basically this is just setting up, making sure that as a part of design, this part is already set to yellow so that we can see where the table is located. But on runtime, it changed the color on once it's loaded. So that part is basically done. And this part does the chart refresh, refresh. And then this for the menu. And this part loads the data to the table. Now talking about the charts. Now if you search for this code, there are three charts that are getting loaded, and then this is the code that loads the data, like converts a chart on runtime. So I'll walk you through this code now. First of all, this process calls this function 3 times by passing the name of the chart and where the chart is to be loaded. So for example, in this the name of the chart is sunburst. So if I go and select any of the chart and click on format and selection pane, you'll be able to see the name of the chart used. So this is a sunburst, this is a tree map, and this is a line chart. So coming back here, it loads this sunburst chart to CH1. So if I go back here, CH1 sunburst, this is CH1, image name is CH1, and it prints sunburst into CH1. So here, coming here, first is the chart object, this, and then the file name. So the chart object is set to this particular sheet. The chart object name is whatever is passed in the parameter dot chart, and then this quickly constructs the part where the file is to be exported and imported from. So this part just simply get the file path to be exported, and then this part exports the charts to this using this name, and then now it imports, like it basically sets the picture for that particular control, which is passed, which is ch1, and then we use the load picture method to bring in that particular picture into our dashboard here. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to cover in this video. Now furthermore, you can use all that we have learned to furthermore, like maybe once the object is clicked, you can pop up a new form where further customization can be done. Criteria can be set using combo box, list box. They can select multiple criterias, the period ranges, and so on. You can also maybe utilize some of these controls that you put in the corner. All these are again just a picture representation because there is no component as such that you can use in the user form. But as you can see, this is pretty simple to set it up. Once you have one of these, you can replicate the rest. Once you have this, you can replicate this, and so on. Here, one small thing, as you can see, if I hover my mouse, it zooms in a bit. You already know how to set this using a mouse move event associated with it. So if you go here, a simple, not the best way. Normally I do it using class, but this is basically setting the font to 19, updates the UI, then sets to 20 so that it looks like it's zoom in. And then once it's zoom in, it sets the font color to green. And then once it is out of it, it sets back to 20, which is normal. So zoom in, zoom out, zoom in, zoom out. Okay, in real time, once the form is refreshed, it's going to connect to your source and then automatically assign all these labels. The numbers will change. The arrow mark pointing up could also be down. So these are also image, which I did not mention, but in the same fashion, you can change the arrow pointing up and pointing down. This can also be in image. Okay. So that's all for this video. I hope you found it informative. If so, do not forget to leave a like, and we'll touch base on more, of these topics in the future videos. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.